Hey guys. So it's been a little crazy. Um Hi. Hey Rue, hey Torby. So yeah, it's been a little crazy. This past week I rebuilt my entire laptop because of all the issues I was having last week. Hi Carrie. Anyways, I rebuilt my entire laptop. So this is new, so in case I'm missing things, that might be explain where you see some problems. Hopefully the frame droppage will stop. And then another thing, so my husband and I decided that we would randomly buy a grinder attachment for my KitchenAid. So yesterday at 2 a.m. to finish off stuff for the stream, I was making sausages. So for today, we actually have homemade sausages. It's a recipe that I know, giggle as you might. It's called Bangers, which is a British recipe. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm not using all of these, but there you go. Those are homemade. Yeah, today at 2 a.m. to be clear. But yeah, so those are actually ones that we made yesterday. So, speaking of which, I should probably actually grab out the ones I need. But yeah, we made those. So hopefully these turn out good. No idea. So I should actually grab out. The recipe calls for 6 to 8. Let's see. I think I have 6 on a link, so maybe I can just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7. So you know what? We're gonna go with that because that's between 6 and 8. I can math. Anyways, so yeah, those are homemade. I took a picture. I was gonna post it on Twitter and be like, "Look at these sausages I made," and then I realized said picture looked a little suggestive, and I was like, "Yeah, probably shouldn't." But anyways, so these are pork sausages. So yeah, what we're going to be making today is from the DnD Cookbook. I actually made it a point because the DnD Cookbook actually has some gorgeous pictures. Let me see if I can show you guys. Look at that. That is beautiful. And as such, I wanted my stuff to look pretty. So I went to like Whole Foods and I got like the tomatoes on the vine and I got the pretty leeks and I did that. And Whole Foods is expensive if you've never shopped there. So yeah, we're gonna try this out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get these sausages started browning. So this isn't gonna be a very interesting thing. They're just gonna sit in the pan. So we're not gonna move the camera because I have a bunch of prep I have to do as well. But these sausages may take a bit because I'm gonna have to do them in batches. So we're gonna start with that. So just to start, we'll see how this looks. God, it looks so suggestive. Oh, a second. I'm trying to get my camera to work correctly and it keeps trying to turn on the flash. Could you stop? Alright. Anyways, so I'm just cutting these so that I can throw them into the pan. Then, like I said, we're going to have a bunch of other stuff that we are prepping, which is veggies. Because the other thing that we're going to make, other than bangers, which I said like is a British sausage, basically, we are also going to be making what's called veg bread from the book, which is a mushroom bread. So let me get these over. Yeah, it's bangers and smash is what it's called, because it's not quite doing mashed potatoes. Instead, it's smashed potatoes. Just slightly different. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands here. Since I've been handling sausages. I'm really trying. I'm trying not to get like a 8-year-old every time I talk about this. But yes, the first recipe is bangers and smash. The second one is bed bread. Yep, there's going to be so many insinuations in this stream. I made my own sausages. I stuffed them myself. It's fine. fine. Okay. Actually, one of the first things I should do is get the potatoes in. So, these potatoes take a while. I am making bangers. See? See? I'm gonna giggle like an idiot. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna turn off. I don't know why it turned on the flash. I don't think we need the extra light. Anyways, so I've got my potatoes here. These are just tiny Yukon Gold potatoes. You ever want a potato that you don't actually have to put anything on, like butter or anything like that to make it taste good? That's what you get. There is sausage. It's a sausage party. Okay. Anyways, these are Yukon Gold. And if you get these, you will never need to put anything on them. Just cook them. Hey, Magic. How are you doing? Alright, so we're going to start these roasting. I've already washed these. I'm not going to do anything to them. Except for throw them on a pan. I don't think I need this big a pan, but we're going to go with it. I had my oven heating, so it's at 450 right now. I did not need that big a pan. That's okay. They have room to play. But I am going to spray them with a little bit of cooking spray just so they don't stick to my pan. They don't say anything about this, but they also just say roast, which is pretty innocuous. So, get the oil all over them, throw them in the oven, and these have to roast for actually 40 minutes. Well, they say 40. I don't think it's going to take 40 because they are smaller than the ones they talk about. So, hey Google, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Okay, so we've got our sausages started over on the stove. I'm gonna get my potatoes going, but the next thing, or the potatoes are going, so the next thing I've got to do is actually start working on our mushrooms for the mushroom bread. Let me show you guys. This is the picture, which it looks gorgeous. So these are cheese and mushroom bread. So first things first, I have to cut up some. This is supposed to be cremini, but they also said shiitake should work. 30 minutes starting at 30, yeah. I hope not. Good lord. An hour to bake things? That would be horrible. Hey, Box, could you not be the loudest thing in the world? No, we gotta be the loudest thing in the world. Okay. Yeah, these are shiitake. They're two different brands. They're a little bit different looking, but that's okay. And for this, I actually get to play with my different knife. This is not usually the knife I use, but this is one that is made for veggie knives. By the way, if you guys didn't read, this is my DM shirt because I'm the DM and I said so. So anybody who has played any kind of role-playing games, you probably know what that's referring to. For those who haven't, a DM is a dungeon master or the leader of the game who basically helps you figure out the direction of the game, where things are going to go, and they're the storyteller of sorts. So, alright, we need to coarsely chop this. So I don't need to make this pretty or anything, because what we're going to do is actually process these down in a food processor. But I do need to make sure they're in smaller pieces so that I can process them down. So, funny thing, if you've never messed with this type of mushroom, like if you've messed with like white mushrooms or anything like that, probably not used to it. These are like bread mixed with styrofoam texture. So you see they kind of squishy. You're the cooking master. I don't know about that. I do like cooking. I don't know if I'd call myself a master though, but I appreciate it. So yeah, this D&D Cookbook, I happened to see it come out and it was actually sold out. So I ordered it because I was like, that'd be interesting to do on stream, you know? And apparently it came right back into publication because I had it like 3 days later. I guess Prime was like, you know, I know how you always order things and you get them in 2 days, but this is going to take 3. So, sorry. Okay. It's a pretty interesting book. Honestly, though, if you're not a D&D nerd and you don't necessarily want it for the graphics, I don't know that there would be much of a point. The recipes are cool. And all of that, but like there's nothing innovative in it. If I'm honest, it's obviously kind of kitschy, you know. I have the Overwatch one as well, which is kind of the same. The master deserves to be broken. No. No. Let's not break me. If you saw, I posted a tweet. I was up at 2 a.m. working on these sausages, so. There it goes again. 2 a.m. I was working on sausages. Yep. It's gonna be this whole stream. No. Magic? Anyway. I know this is absolutely fascinating watching me cut mushrooms. Is the audio and everything good? I had to completely rebuild Streamlabs, so like I lost all my levels and stuff, and I was trying to test it out this morning. You don't use Twitter. Ah, that's fine. No, I was just saying, I posted about it, and I said it a little earlier. Yeah, we made homemade sausages. Me and my husband yesterday. Still sounds real bad. Jinxie! Aww. Love you. Thank you. Why are you doing this? Save your money. How are you, my beautiful heretic? I know this isn't Papa Nurgle. I saw that you painted Papa Nurgle. I need to go watch the VOD, but I saw you painted some Nurgly Nurgles. And I know this is a different game, but still appreciate it all the same. I miss you. I haven't seen you for fucking ever. You need to play some games together. Vermintide or something. How are your dinosaurs? Hopefully not escaped and killed everyone, unless that was your plan. Apollyon, hey. Welcome in. So, yes. So, this recipe I can't give you online. You have to get the book. A tier 3? Magic, you're insane. But thank you. Oh, hey, Kane, what's up? That's kind of funny. So, Kane that you guys see in there, Mosh Kane, he actually streams as well. And he is somebody I know in person. He, actually used to be my roommate at one point. Just won a title. Oh, so the title is Heroes Feast. If you actually look in my Amazon Blacksmith down below, you can see the book. I would show it to you, but, you know, kind of in the middle of cutting mushrooms. Butt hanging out. Hell yeah, butt. Yeah, Kane actually streams, funnily enough, with my cousin at times. So go give him a follow, guys. Yeah, like I said, I will show you the book here in a second. Let me get this a little bit more worked out. I have to get these mushrooms processed down. I'm working on a mushroom Gruyere bread from the DnD Heroes Feast Cookbook. Which recipe? I'm making ved bread. Hi, by the way. I'm making ved bread from the human cuisine, and then from the dwarven cuisine, I am making bangers and smash. Which is a take on the British bangers and mash. But hi, welcome in. Okay, our mushrooms are done, guys. Look at that. Only took me like 5 minutes. Hey Markson, how are you doing? Alright, let's throw our extras up. That is a lot of mushrooms. Like, mushrooms cook down, guys, so this won't be that much, but goddamn, it's a lot of mushrooms for now. Yes, Buzzbot. You had turkey sausage and roasted veggies for dinner? Hell yeah. You would be so proud of me, Jinxie. I made my own bangers. Once again, that sounds so bad. But we homemade our own sausages. We ground up the sausages and everything. One thing I do have to state, we did switch up some of the recipe for the bangers, because traditional British bangers call for a thing called mace, which doesn't get used a lot in America. It's basically a derivative of nutmeg, which does get used a lot in America. I didn't have any, so I used garam masala. Never have enough shrimp. Hell no. Alright, and then I need to get the pretty shallots. See, I went to Whole Foods. Spoil you guys. True story. Yes, true story. How have I been? It's been ages. I've been okay. Today got a little late start because I was up late. Stuffing sausages. Yeah, we're just gonna, you know what? I'm leaning into it at this point. But got a little bit of a late start because of that. That's okay though. And the shallot's like, no, the skin does not need to come off. No, thank you, shallot. I don't want to. Maybe enough mushroom. Yeah, and see, these are shiitake, which if anybody's ever had shiitake, that's typically the place that most people probably have had it, that's the mushroom that you find in ramen. You got a decent set of cooking knives? Hell yes, me too. Do you see my new pretties? Like that's one of my new pretties. I have a new pretty set. It's great. What kind did you get? Did you go Japanese or European? Yeah, this skin is just like, no. So we're just going to take the top layer of the shallot off because I'm done with you. I do love my knives. But yeah, what kind did you get? Do you know the tang? P.S. I'm kind of bored. I used to sell swords, so I do know at least a little bit about not just knives, but just blades in general because of that. Which, if you guys want, I could tell you some stories about when I used to do medieval reenactment. Funnily enough, Kane was part of that. If you guys want some stories of that, I could tell you. P.S. If you've ever seen the movie Role Models, not accurate. Except for maybe when you're drunk, then Role Models might be kind of accurate. If you guys want story time, let me know. Or if you want to hear about role-playing, since we are doing a DnD cookbook. Pretty nice. I got some. Nice. You know what? I started off with, and those who are from America will understand this, I started off with a $10 set of Walmart knives a long time ago. So I get it. And you know what? Any improvements over that, right? Sauteed and soy sauce. Yes. A lot of times you do saute the shiitake mushrooms and soy sauce. You want to hear stories? Oh, okay. So, I stopped doing this a couple years back, about 3 years ago. But I used to actually run medieval LARPing events. I know, I'm a nerd. If you don't know what LARPing is, live action role playing. And in these events, a lot of times with LARPing, you kind of fake doing attacks and actions and stuff. The one that we were in was actually full combat. Called the Gorhir, but everybody in America calls it Dagger Hair because we can't talk. And it is Tolkien for warlords. Tolkien Elders. At the height of my career, if you will. Oh, real quick for Cinco. Heroes Feast. That is the book we're looking at. Anyways, at the height of my career, if you will, I was running events for 250 to 300 people camping out in the middle of nowhere and then getting up every day and hitting each other with foam swords dressed in funny clothing. And yeah. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on the shopping so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And now we'll actually throw on the light. But yeah, so that was what I used to do, and I did that for 11 years, I think. Met a lot of people, became friends with a lot of people. Finally had to give it up because it was a little too much stress for me to deal with and a little too much drama. But, and no, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd. You are absolutely correct. But yeah, I used to run those events. So I didn't start off running them. I started off actually as a fighter, and then started having a lot of back problems. I've mentioned it before, but I actually have a ton of back issues. I have a mild case of scoliosis, as well as I have one leg that is shorter than the other, which might be occasionally, if you see me, I shift a lot. It's because my hip. So I had to stop fighting. But I used to fight, and then when I couldn't fight anymore, to try to give back to a group that had given me a bunch of friends and all of those things, I started instead planning the events. I did one called Dark Tides. I had a whole committee. Like, I can't say that I ran it by myself, but I was the lead admin for it. Can't fight anymore. My knees are crunchy. Yeah, I know that feel. Man, you hit your 30s and everything's like styrofoam when you try to walk. Look forward to it, people. But, yeah, a lot of people in that sport, it's kind of honestly become a dumpster fire at this point, but before, when you couldn't fight anymore, you planned things. Never was a LARPer. Yeah, that's fine. It's not for everybody. A lot of people, though, do get the wrong impression. Like, they think, oh, it's a bunch of nerds in costumes. And I'll be honest, like, there's some lewd people on Twitch and stuff like that. And there's some raunchy shit that happens on Twitch. It ain't got nothing on LARP. At least not DAG. It is an environment. I'll say that. So people who are like, oh, it's just a bunch of nerds in the forest. No. No. There's things I cannot say on Twitch because they would be TOS. So I won't. Let me get a little bowl to put those shallots in. My sausages are browning up nicely. You guys are getting some lovely ASMR from the frying over here. I'll give you a quick look real quick. So that's how they're looking right now. Anyways, so as far as running it, yeah, so it used to be during the day. Everybody would fight and hit each other with foam swords, and we'd have like capture the flag type battles, or attack the bridge, or, you know, take the point, or, you know, just side on side where you just fought and whoever had, you know, the most kills, or like you would have a res count, things like that. So basically, like, a lot of games you would actually see in Overwatch and those type of games, so, or Halo or whatever, because to be honest, a lot of them got stolen from there. But yeah, so hit each other with foam. You could have armor. My husband actually had a full set of leather armor. Not boiled armor. There is a difference. So yeah, when people start talking about like weapons and shit in medieval times, I do actually know quite a bit. Not stolen. That was artistic inspiration from Halo to steal their game. Sure. Well, here, just no. No! Bad magic. Get it? Alright, and then I need to chop up some thyme. Let's just get everything prepped over here, right? What you drinking? This is my coffee. So this is just a hot coffee. I didn't have time to go get my cold brew, and I didn't make a cold brew yesterday. So it's just vanilla and sugar-free vanilla. Hot tip, I make enough money, but we stole these from restaurants. Anyway. I might have, okay? I'm telling you, I was up at 2 a.m. stuffing sausage. Give me a little bit of leeway here. Don't clip that, please. No, no taking notes. Shut up, honey. Shut up or I'm going to take the camera into your room. I'd never do that. I wouldn't, but god damn it, I want to now. Yeah, for those not aware, Whiplock is indeed my husband. In the other room. I don't know what he's doing. Probably playing WoW. So yeah, we'll just get this time going. Yep, that's what I figured. So this does call for Gruyere cheese, so I will also have to prep that here in a minute. If you guys have never had Gruyere, it's actually pretty good. It's like it tastes like a mixture between cheddar and mozzarella. Did you just give my husband a sub? Gotta go pick up some Warhammer stuff, post pictures. Alright, alright. I usually do them on Instagram, but I'll throw them on Facebook so you can actually see them too. Have a good time, Nurgle be praised. Blood gods, go for the skull front. All that good jazz. Thanks for the gifts, then. Poor Gaslight. Well, there you go, honey. You wanted somebody to run Torghast with. When it came. Too little time to. I don't make puns, okay? I messed up earlier. Don't require puns out of me. You're on Twitter more? Oh, me too. Cool. Alright, I'll just post to Twitter. That's what I usually do. Fuck Facebook, man. So much shit. Like, I know you probably know that, like, there's a lot of fucking drama that comes from those old Daggerhair days. It smells so good in here right now. I got like this thyme in front of me. Got like the sausages cooking on the stove. Let's how talking. No! No! Don't, because then he's gonna be proud of me and I can't handle that. Sadly, you can't stay so long. Okay. Go get some sleep, Magic. Take care. Hopefully you can sleep. I know that's not always easy for you. I hope you can get some sleep. But thank you for stopping in, all the same. And, yeah, hope tomorrow goes well for you. I need to get one of those little prep things they have for herbs where basically you can like pull the stem of the thyme through it and it pulls all the leaves off. Because I'm lengthy and this takes a while. I'm just rough chopping it up. And I'm gonna dice it down. I actually don't need 2 hands for that, so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So yeah. This is a pretty involved recipe, by the way, so this may take a while. I don't know how long the stream is going to be. I mean, we've already been going for 30 minutes and I'm still finishing. Aw, Kane. Thanks for the sub, man. Take care. Hopefully you're on the side of heresy when you go for your Warhammer. Spice Marines are annoying. Alright, last thing I think we gotta prep here. Which, by the way, do you guys mind, like, just sitting here talking? Or would you prefer that, like, I get this stuff prepped and we have a little bit more action, if you will. Project! Hi! Hi, Project. Haven't seen you around. Where have you been? I think I have a project. There we go. So you guys can see progress. There's our sausages now. I don't need them all the way cooked. They are going to go into the oven at one point. I want them mostly cooked. So I'm going to pull those and start the second batch here. Also, I'm going to do myself a favor. One of them exploded, and I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to put some pinholes in these sausages so that they have a steam escape. Last week you've been AFK. When I remember streaming, I was like, oh, it's okay. It does mean more time to chat. Wow. Vlog. Yes. Works the way it is. Okay. Okay. If you guys don't mind just sitting here, chilling, hanging out, and talking, I'm okay with it. Plus, it's less I gotta do before stream, and I procrastinate. It's kind of a thing. Okay. I'm gonna get this cutting board out of my way, actually. So let's get this cheese grated. I never pushed that, but yeah, I still have the rack attack. Two things I won't get into until it's time to eat and press and not be in front of my PC. Oh, okay. You know what? That's fine. Whatever. I'm here for you. If you want to talk about it, cool. If not, just come in, hang out, and watch me make food. And potentially fail, because I've never made these recipes. They're from a cookbook that just came out. So. Thankfully, Gruyere is really easy to shred. You love watching beautiful ladies make food. Who you watching? Thought I was important. I'm talking about beautiful ladies. Anyway. Food. Hi, Miss. Hi. How are you doing? I can't wink like after I would. Fucking yucky. I miss him. You, that too. Liar. I don't see you cooking. Like a beautiful lady. Anyways, I've missed you. I'm glad to see you in here. Hopefully things are a little bit better than whatever was taking you away from here. But if not, they will get better because you deserve better. Gav. Doing good. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Just playing with sausage. It's a slow process. It is. It is. But you'll get there. I love that you guys are okay with watching me grate cheese for like 5 minutes. Oh, so a note. I've heard this from some of my friends who are not from America. They wanted to make like buttermilk biscuits, which are scones from anywhere else in the world, I believe. But they can't get buttermilk. So I don't buy buttermilk because I don't use it that often, but sometimes you need it. You just want cheese. Right? This cheese is good. But sometimes you need it for recipes, and, you know, I don't want to buy a whole thing of buttermilk because, like, it'll go bad in my fridge. So, a note, if you ever need to make buttermilk, this is my buttermilk that is needed for this recipe. You take regular milk, and you add vinegar. Literally, that's it. It curdles it, and that way you don't have to buy buttermilk specifically for one recipe and then waste the rest of it. Or if you can't get a hold of it. So that's our lovely pile of Gruyere there. Quality check. Yeah, it's good. Still need that grater. It's from IKEA. Actually, it's an IKEA grater. Comes with like, so it's got like a little lid so you can like put it in the fridge. It comes with 2 different grate plates. It's great. One of our old roommates, he comes in here sometimes, Radiator RPG. He had one, and I was like, when you move out, I'm getting my own. And I did. It's like the greatest thing ever. I'm going to go back and check on the sausage again. Okay. That's doing good. Alright, so now I think I need to, in a food processor, pulse the mushrooms to finely chop. Okay, so we're going to have to do this in stages, which is why I've got 2 different bowls. Alright. You know what I forgot to get? A hair tie. So I'm gonna have to step away and get a hair tie. My hair's starting to get in the way. You have to see if they sell it. They do. I know IKEA shipping is fucking stupid. When we meet up to go to the zoo, I'll just get you one because there's an IKEA here. So, but I'm gonna be right back, guys. I'm gonna get a hair tie. No, there's one here in KC. But I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, guys. Got like a Kinder Talk not going. Hey Google, cancel. You don't have an IKEA, yeah. Sounds like you need to go to IKEA. Agreed. But I think for you, Project, that Kansas City would be closer. Come visit. Although not right now. You know, when the world's not on fire. I'm gonna give the potatoes a little bit longer. Hey Google. 5-minute timer.
5 minutes, starting now.
Ganas. Have I used this? I don't know if it's used it. Have you used this? I'm trying. It's been so long since I had a chance to talk to my hen and finish. But my ganas and hen. I love my hen. Everybody loves hen. I think Casey's closer. I don't know. You might check, but if you really wanted to go to an IKEA, yeah, there's one here. It's in a town called Merriam. I go there when I can. Squiff too nice. Squiff butt. Squee butt. Squee butt. Alright. Hopefully this isn't too loud, guys, but I have to do some food processing. If it is, I will drop the volume. Okay. Didn't look like that hit too loud. It sounded like it was about as loud as my voice, so. Oh, my scraper. So yeah, we're just grinding up our mushrooms that are going to go in our bread. Butt. I love butt spots so much. Can I get a butt spot? Yes. But hi, Hen Hen. How are you doing? How are you doing? That was a bad Hen Hen impersonation. I'm usually better at that. Thanks, Carrie. Pulverizing the hell out of these mushrooms. I will always encourage myself. Same. Love. Are you finally home? Love. I'm making the sausages. And then my husband sent you a picture. I will show them to you in a minute. Also, probably sending some with you at some point. By the way, you guys may know, I think I've said this before, I have an air fryer slash toaster oven that's made by Ninja. If you didn't happen to notice, like apparently I'm a Ninja fangirl. Like, I have a lot of Ninja appliances in my house. Gotta get ready for work. Okay. Fine. Leave me. No, it's okay. I won't yell at you for going in for work. Today. I mean, I might later, because I miss you. I know. I can't get mad at you for making money. Just doesn't take away the sting of missing you all the time, Project. That's me trying to look bad. But no, it's fine. I will hopefully get a chance to see you again. Okay, so our mushrooms are processed up. Alright, and I think the majority of the prep is now done. Alright, hey Google, cancel. Alright. I can't see shit, but our potatoes look pretty good. Kind of roasty toasty here. So, set those down on my oven. And our sausages look good. I'll go ahead and pull those. And then normally I would use the sausage grease to continue cooking, but these are two different menu items. So I'm going to clean this up real quick. Hey Google, cancel. Like I told you to do. Google's being obstinate. Anyway, move this pan over for now. But yeah, so the mushroom bread and the sausages don't technically go together. I just thought they sounded good together. So, we're going to get the mushrooms cooking down. We do have one more thing we have to prep. I forgot about that, which is leeks. I love seeing you guys just throw love around in the chat. Makes me so happy. Okay. I need 2 tablespoons of butter to melt down in the pan. So I'm not going to switch to that because I don't think you guys need to see butter melting. We're going to finish the leeks, which, by the way, if you've never made leeks, they're basically gigantic onions, though a lot tamer in flavor. But the one thing to keep in mind about leeks is that they have layers. Thanks, Shrek. And because of the layers in a leek, you have to clean them after cutting them. Like a lot of vegetables, you get away with not cleaning after cutting, but you have to clean them before and after. Because there gets sand in the middle of them because of the way that they're grown. So, you ever cook with leeks, make sure you clean them twice. Alright. Alright, white and green parts. Have it lengthwise and cut into 1-inch pieces. Okay. It is so cold. The only reason I'm warm right now is because I have an oven on behind me. So let me cut off the dead ends here. I don't know. Hey Google, what's the weather like? Let's just check. So that's 0 to 1 Celsius.
And a low of 25. With the current wind conditions, it feels like it's 23.
23, which would be like -3 Celsius? Yeah. It's a little cold. Okay, I've never done this split thing they're saying, so I'm assuming I would have to go with where the majority of the split could happen, which would be here. So, this is how you're supposed to actually clean them, though, is you split them first. But they want them kept in a split like this. So what I normally do is I split them, and then you can see, like, you've got all the layers actually presenting now. So we're going to rinse that. And I know you guys can't see from over there, but there is actually, like, sand coming out of these leeks. So like I said, if you use them, make it a point to rinse them twice. So this is our first one. It said about 1 inch. So I think that's about 1 inch. There we go. Leeks. That's a bit chilly. It's not, yeah, it's not the worst. -13 Celsius. Yeah, you win. You definitely win on the cold. Actually, I think you kind of lose, if I'm honest. Ugh, that's kind of a dead leaf. You know what? Yeah, see, by the way, you see that? I just pulled the layer off. I did wash these. Let's get rid of these dead ends. -15 Celsius. Ugh. See, now I feel like I'm just having a pissing contest with y'all, because I can't win. But yeah, see all that dirt? I'm gonna get rid of that. Part of me feels like doing the leek dance. I'm not gonna. I like when I hate when it goes near -27. Yeah, -27 is a little cold. It does get to, I don't know. Hey Google, what's -27 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
-27 degrees Celsius is -16.
It doesn't quite get that cold here. It gets to -10 Fahrenheit, which I want to say is like 20? -20 Celsius? So, thankfully, not to your level there, hen. Now we have a pile of leeks. And all clean. Just checking to make sure I wasn't lying to you guys that they were clean. Okay. So our leeks are ready. Our butter is melted. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera now over to the oven. See if I can get a good angle. You guys see? Yeah, you can see. Alright, so I just got the butter melted in here. Alright, we're going to do our shallots first. Add the shallots, cook and stirring until they soften. Alright, so these are our shallots. It's a lot of onion without being onion in this recipe, so shallots and leeks. In these two recipes, I should say. Because the leeks are actually for the bangers and smash recipe. So we're going to let that start sauteing. while we're working on that. Okay. Alright, so we want the potatoes to cool for 10 minutes, so I actually did that right. I didn't even realize that. Negative 30 Celsius hurts to breathe. See, I think like negative 10 Celsius starts to hurt to breathe, but maybe I'm just a wimp. Compared to you Finns over there, they're just like, shorts weather, you know? Okay, so our next step, now that we're done, I think we're done cutting everything. Get a little bit of bubbles going, cool. I think our next step, now that our prep is all done, is that I have to mix these. Okay. I may just rinse the leeks. Again, I'm really paranoid about the leeks, guys. They tend to be really, really dirty. Sausages, dirty. I'm not even gonna try to pretend anymore. Mature audience cooking stream. Anyway. What's for today's non-non? I am making bangers and smash, which is like bangers and mashed. But it's the D&D equivalent, and you have like full potatoes as opposed to mashed potatoes. And ved bread, which is mushroom and Gruyere cheese stuffed bread. Alright. So for our potatoes, I throw them in to a bowl with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Oh no, I just throw them in a bowl and the pan gets 2 tablespoons of olive oil. See, I'm being dumb. I'm like, I could pick this up. Let's be good. Okay. So I'm just throwing these potatoes into a bowl here. Alright. So yeah, there's our potatoes. Just a second. One escaped. Alright. So, just putting some olive oil down on the pan. You can kind of see me working on the pan a little bit. Let's angle so you can see me working on it. And it says to brush. Get one of my tiny little pastry brushes here. Pretty sure you could do this with paper towel too, but I'm gonna follow their recipe. So they said to brush it all over with olive oil. That's pretty good coating there. And then salt and pepper it, which I've never salt and peppered a pan. I don't know why I'm seasoning a pan. But we'll do it. Making sure I read that right. Another thing, if anybody who actually worked on this book ever gets a chance to watch this, I will point out one thing that I prefer in cookbooks that you guys didn't do, which is cook time. I watched a documentary about Swedes, Finns, and Norwegian people. You know, I've heard that the whole they don't see sun for long periods of time. I've also heard that seasonal depression is a huge problem because of it. Okay, return the potatoes to a baking sheet. Alright. So they go back on here and we space them out by 2 inches, it said. Okay, I think this is where we actually smash them. The bottom of a mug or another baking sheet to do all the potatoes at once. Sharply press down on the potatoes to break their skins and compress the flesh. Alright. So I actually have a second baking sheet. So, okay. Shallots smell really good. So we're just gonna spread these potatoes out a little bit. And this is actually one of my favorite ways to make potatoes. It's smashed. You guys will see once I lift this up. You can see a little bit. I think I need to press a little bit more. These are smaller, so. But they will open up. There you go. They open up a little bit, and then you get like a crispy inside as well as crispy outside. It's great. Okay. Brush them with olive oil. I don't think I need to brush them with olive oil. There's plenty of oil. I sprayed oil on them earlier too. Turn the oven and continue to roast for another 15 minutes. Okay. Now it's at a temp I can handle it. Hey Google, set timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and we're starting now.
Okay, well that's in. Back to our veg bread, our mushroom bread. Okay, so our shallots are good. We are going to go ahead and add our mushrooms to this mix. I'm going to try to do this way so you guys can actually see me working. Okay, here's our mushroom mixture. And I'm sure I have to add salt to this. If I remember right, it said something about that, but also because salt will release the water that is in the mushrooms. Always cook mushrooms with salt. Excuse me while I close my mini cabinets I keep opening. Keep leaving my cabinets open, y'all are going to see how unorganized my kitchen happens to be. So, funny story, while we are working on this, yep, 9 minutes to let the mushrooms evaporate. So, while everything's working right now, because we kind of just got stuff going, yeah, I have been playing in role-playing games since I was about 7 years old. To give you perspective, I didn't say this last week, I'm 36. Hi. That's almost 30 years of playing in role-playing games. I started with my brother. Yeah, that's mushrooms and shallots. Anyways, I started with my brother on a game called Ars Magica, I believe. It was either Ars Magica I started on, remember, I was 7, this is hard to remember for me, or Hero System, or DnD Lake. Second ed. First, actually, I did play on first for a while. So I started with a bunch of those games, and like one of the first games I remember was this one. It was Heroes, and like I had a character. I like to take drawbacks as characters. Even apparently when I was 7, I was like, ooh, I like flaws. So I take flaws as my characters because I think it's more entertaining. So anyway, yeah, I took a character flaw, and our whole group was doing pretty well, but we came up against this river, and my character flaw was that I had a lucky rabbit's foot that my character would basically just freak out if she lost, right? And she had super strength. Everybody had been knocked out. I was carrying everybody on my back, and I had to get through this river, and I was like, okay. So I went ahead and was going through the river, and the GM did a luck roll. Come to find out that my lucky rabbit's foot fell out of my pocket while trying to cross this river. And somehow, I think this was more for flavor on his part, but he decided that my character realized that this fell out of her pocket. So she started freaking out and looking for it, dropped everybody in the river, and I drowned my entire party of 3 other people because I was looking for this lucky rabbit's foot as my character. So then he made it to where I couldn't find it. So he decided, because he was one of those game masters that likes to fuck the characters over. Like there's plenty of them that have that. So dropped everybody in the river, drowned them all, could never find this lucky rabbit's foot that like my character absolutely needed to survive, right? And so what happened is we had been transported back to medieval time at some point. This is a really weird story. But my character comes back out of the water and she's like, and just, freaking out, and ends up living in a medieval village for the rest of her days because one, she can't get back to her time, and two, they just assume she's a simpleton because she's stuck basically consistently in what would be considered a panic attack because she's lost this one item that meant the most to her. And I was like 7 or 8, so that's what started me on role-playing games. My brothers were 10 and 11 years older than me. I have 3 brothers, but my 2 oldest are 10 and 11 years older than me. So he was like 17, and we were over at his friend's. I think what happened is mom was like, hey, you have to watch your sister. And he went, okay, I'll just take her with me. And so I ended up going with him to this role-playing game. And yeah, I killed all of us. The end. But yeah, I don't know how I went from having like that traumatic, I guess you could say, of a start with role playing to all of a sudden being like, hey, I actually like doing tabletop, but there we go. Hopefully it was more because I was like, I'm hanging out with my brother, not because I was like, I killed my entire party. But 7-year-old me, who knows? Like, I could have been like, I killed everyone. Probably not a good sign, is it? Oh well. But yeah, so that was my introduction to role-playing. I know a lot of you don't role-play. Or maybe you've never have, you want to, maybe you have no interest. I don't know. I've always found that it's interesting. And like I said, with having as many years as I have, like, last night I actually played a new game. 3 to 1 Action is what it's called. We were playing it on one of our streams, and I know a few of you were in there. Hi, Carrie. But a few of you were in there, like, supporting me and stuff, and, yeah, so, like, it was a new one, and they walked in, they were like, hey, you want to get all this stuff set up for us, and, you know, blah, 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 so I set up all the Twitch stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So I got it all set up, and then they're like, so what character were you thinking about playing? I was like, thinking about? And they're like, well, didn't you research the characters? And I'm like, nope. They're like, wait, but, so you don't know who you want to play? I was like, everybody else pick one, because they were what's called pre-generated, so basically just a, you know, it's like when you go into WoW or something like that, you just hit the randomize button. And so you're like, I'll play that. So basically I was playing a random pre-gen. And they were like, well, are you sure? Yeah. Because at this point I randomize everything that I play, because I'm playing for so long, I'm like, I don't need to plot and plan out shit. So, anybody who caught that yesterday, or anybody who happens to watch it, it's on Roman Perilous Plays Twitch. But anybody who happens to watch it, the Kickstarter, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that system. I didn't know anything. I was literally like, made a Twitch layout. Hi. So that was fun. But I figured it out by the end. At one point I kicked a grenade back at a dude. Because that's what I do. It was a good time though. Okay, so the potatoes are going through for 15 minutes. Alright, and then we're going to throw the leeks in after that. So let me see where I need to get with the bread. Alright, so we're going to start working on the dough. Give me all your mushrooms. No! My mushrooms. No, I'd share. You can't have all, but I would share. They're cooking down pretty well. I'm going to throw this a little bit lower. Just because I'm wanting... Basically, the only thing they're supposed to be doing is, like I said, giving up the liquid. Okay, so let's, like I said, start the dough. Get my flour. I hope I have enough flour. If not, I have bread flour. We'll make this work. What are you making? Oh, you're playing StarCraft with Vegeta, I assume. I am making mushroom and Gruyere bread, as well as... Oh. I was wondering where that went. Hi, guys. I have an organized kitchen. I actually needed that. Anyway, I am making what's called Ved bread, which is a mushroom-filled cheese bread, and bangers and smash. Shut up, honey. I won't hear it. I did, okay? It's from when I was making stuff the other day. Yes. I think it will be very good. Okay, so that's my 2 1/4 cup. I think I'm actually going to end up just using, yeah, that is actually all of my all-purpose flour left. Hey, you want to see a handy thing about Google? I think I've proved this before. Hey Google, add all-purpose flour to my shopping list.
Sorry, I am unable to process your request.
Mind you, I said add, right? Okay. Hey Google, put flour on my shopping list.
Okay, I added flour.
You notice it said I added flour? Smart ass. Thanks, Google. Yeah, no, I don't know what happened. Like, it used to work, and then, like, 7 months ago or something like that, I got an update to Google, and all of a sudden it was like, add? No, it did put it right. It did put it right. Which, hi, by the way, Luna. I have it, like, I actually have, like, a screen, so it did put it right, but it's just like, what? Why can you say add, but I can't? Like, is that your word or something? Rude. Alright. The mushrooms are looking pretty good. Yeah, it did add it correctly, but it's just like, why? Why can I not say add, but you can? That's rude. Okay, I'm just checking. I actually need to add time. Add. Sorry, I'm staring at my Google. I need to cook before I move. Do tell. Okay. Alright, I only need a teaspoon. I did make extra thyme, but that's okay. So we're just gonna sprinkle some thyme in here. Oh! I was like, what? I'm having a moment. I haven't finished my coffee yet. Yes, this is 1 coffee for me. Moving to Canada. You know what? Good idea. Just don't spill it because then you have too much time on you. I'm not finishing reading that, Markson. I refuse. Anyways. Alright. I keep getting distracted. Told you guys, I haven't finished my coffee. I was up till 2 a.m. stuffing sausage. Yep, still going with it. Clearly not the right. Nope, it's not. Damn pun. You going to work now? I love you, beautiful. Love you. Alright, have a good day at work, hopefully. Be safe. Take care. Keep thinking about our zoo trip. Alright, I'm just putting a tablespoon of baking powder in the flour here. And then I need a teaspoon of sugar. This is my swerve sugar. As I've shown you guys before, I cannot use real sugar, so this is fake. There's a teaspoon, sugar and salt. Alright, and then the salt, I'm gonna get my fine grained salt out. Normally I would do a large flake salt, but for this, okay. I may switch us back over to the dough once I actually get this formed up, because our mushrooms are pretty much done at this point. I think there's one more thing I gotta add to that, but then you can ask Cinco about my cooking. Oh. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What load? Had to read that one. Marks and why? Why are you doing those? Why do you do this to me? Okay. Oh, I need to preheat my other oven. Dual oven. Alright, I need to preheat my other oven to 425. That's what the dough's doing. Hobbit Day. Beef Wellington. Hell yeah! I actually love making beef Wellington. I made beef Wellington for, well, Wolfie's in here. You'll have to post a pic. Hell yeah. Damn it, Mike. Why? Why? Yes, yes you are. A martyrdom pain in the ass. There you go, I read it. Hey Google, stop. Okay. I actually have to add Parmesan into my mushrooms real quick. The dough's gonna wait. See, I keep putting the dough off. Okay, it says like a quarter cup. Sure. I mean, that's like... Jeez. That's like a quarter cup. Like, close. Okay. And then it says to season as needed with salt and pepper. It's a grated Parmesan. I prefer using shredded. Grated Parmesan, it doesn't melt the same way. Like, I actually want melting. And I feel like it never melts right when it's grated. So this is actually shredded Parmesan, but just, if you're working on the recipe, it technically calls for grated. Alright. So it says to taste and adjust as needed. So, now if I was cooking this for anybody else, I would go get a taster spoon. You ever go into a kitchen, like a good kitchen, you'll see like just a thing of spoons, and that's actually a taster spoon. They'll be by a bunch of the stations. And that way you can taste everything. I think the salt level's good. Parmesan itself is a salty cheese, so we're gonna add a little more pepper. Alright. I think that is the end of needed for filling. Let me check. Spread the mixture on a plate and allow to cool to room temperature. Okay. So let's get this spread out. I'm just going to cool it over here. And like I said, I will bring the camera back for working on the dough. Okay. So that is spread out now. Get our potatoes out before those burn since our Google timer went off. So, here's our potatoes. Let those sit for a little bit. They'll be okay. Alright, back across the kitchen, guys. Time to take a trip. Are you kidding me? Why? Why? I step away for 2 fucking seconds and I come back to my husband flooding the goddamn chat with puns. I can hit him, and I do. I'm horrible. No, actually, you can ask him. I have this ability. It used to be, when he would piss me off, I used to have this ability to hit right on the exact spot for his shoulder that I could make his arm go limp. So he would just be doing shit and trying to piss me off. And I would just hit that spot and he'd be like, ha ha ha. Damn it. Every time I could nail it. It was great. Anyways, back to our dough. Alright, so I've added all of the... Alright. The sugar, the salt, the baking powder, and the flour. Alright. We're gonna whisk that together. Yeah, I haven't had to do the numbing punch on his shoulder in a while. Well, maybe I needed to. But yeah, I used to be really, really good at it, and I could hit it every time. And he get really annoyed. Alright. So, our flour is mixed now. Okay, add grated Gruyere. Alright, so I need 6 ounces of Gruyere. Actually, we're gonna check real quick. There it is. I need to see how many ounces I actually had of Gruyere, because that might have been the exact amount that I needed. 6 ounces, cool. Thought I did that. But now I reached into the trash, so you guys keep saying. Thanks, Marcy. That's true. I don't hate you. I didn't marry you. That sounds really bad. Like, it sounds like I'm abused. I swear to God, I'm not. Like, nice. You can look below in the Amazon Blacksmith. You can see them. Yeah. Like I said, down below chat, you should see them. Or down below the video, you should see them. I have Amazon Blacksmith, and it should have them listed there. I think. At one point, I was going to make this command. I don't know if I did. I didn't. But yeah, below, you should be able to find them. There you go. Alright. Anyways, so the Gruyere, I actually did get a 6-ounce block, which is exactly how much I needed. That's perfect. Just so you guys know, there was actually a little bit of extra Parmesan I had in here, and it was Fontina. I was like, screw it, extra cheese. Alright. Okay, so we're going to mix this all in. It is weird mixing cheese and flour like this, but they told me to do. We're going with it. Okay. Alright. Now I've got my buttermilk. Next thing I need to do is actually melt some butter. I need, how much? 6 tablespoons. Alright. So I've got 3 here. We'll go ahead and put some here. More cheese is always better. Hell yeah, it is. Hey Tiny, how are you doing? How are things? Good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This is quite an involved recipe, so I don't know how long the stream is going to be, but, I mean, because we're already at like an hour and a half or something. Yeah. Maybe a long stream. It's okay. Alright. Let's go ahead and melt some butter here. So this is going to be our dough. Supposed to be nice. Oh, you're gonna give me a reprieve? You're so generous. So today we are cooking from the, here, let's go ahead and flash it up again. Heroes Feast, D&D Cookbook. This is Dungeons and Dragons recipes. We are making ved bread, which is a mushroom and cheese stuffed bread. That's from the human cuisine area. And then we are making bangers and smash, which is a take on bangers and mash. It's technically a British recipe, but for this purpose, it's from the Dwarven cuisine. So, alright, let me check my butter, see if that actually melted. Oh, for note, if you are going to get this cookbook, do yourself a favor. Needs a little more melting. Do yourself a favor. Spiral one. The binding on this book, like if you're going to actually use it to cook instead of just put it up right, the binding on this book is so tight, like it wants to flip constantly, which when you're cooking is a pain in the ass. Well, are they supposed to be Scottish? Apollo! Why? Why would you? I love you, Apollo, but why? Why do you do this to me? But you're adorable and I love you. I swear half the time you guys are like, I love you, Squiffy, and the other half the time you're like, here's puns. Anyway. Middle European? Oh, okay. Makes sense. Alright, so I'm just kind of swirling this around, which looks weird, but it's actually because I'm trying to get some air into it so it's not as hot. And like I said, this is fake buttermilk. If you can't get your hands on buttermilk, just get some milk, add some vinegar, just curdle it, makes it buttermilk. No point in wasting money unless you're actually going to use buttermilk for a lot of applications. Clean up a little bit here. Okay. Oh, my oven's up to temp. Alright. We have to mix the butter with the buttermilk. Oh, that is our whisk. I have two different whisks going. I don't remember which one it is. But I need all the buttermilk mixed in. Yeah, like I said, if you make large quantities, then you're going to use it all. But I don't make enough buttermilk to like justify, because they always sell it in huge cartons. Pants hanger. Yeah, and I would do that, but I don't want to break the binding. Like I like having the binding in place and stuff, and I like that it sits flat, like when I close it. But like I said, if you're gonna cook, if you're gonna actually use it to cook, get the spiral bound one. Just do yourself a favor. Get it in that form instead. Okay. Now we are going to go ahead and add the buttermilk into the flour. I'm going to add a little bit at a time. It doesn't say to do that, but I always find it's easier to combine when you do that. With a sturdy spoon. I got a sturdy spoon. I got hands. No, I'm actually going to try it with a spoon. I went and bought a wooden spoon, guys. I don't usually use wooden spoons, but we went to IKEA. And I found a cheap wooden spoon, so. I typically don't like getting them because all the ones I have, or I get, always end up cracking. Like splitting and stuff. That's why I use silicone so much. But we're going to try it. I love binging with Babish. That guy is amazing. Are you kidding me? Like, I love that he's not actually a professional chef. I love that he taught himself. I love his humor. His voice is fucking amazing. Like, I love binging with Babish. Yes, it does actually work with lactose free. This is lactose free. Yeah, binging with Babish is amazing. Oh, you know, I just realized I used all my flour in this. I need to grab more flour. We're just going to use my bread flour, which I'm making bread, so it should be fine. But I do need to be able to dust my counter. So, get this stuff out of the way here. Yes, yes. It will work with any kind of milk. Turn dough into a floured surface. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna end up doing this anyway. So, move this back a little bit. Okay. Do myself a favor. I'm gonna take my Fitbit off here so I can actually work with this stuff. Real quick, I'm just trying to mix the flour that was on the bottom into our dough so that our ratios are right. And we're going to knead this onto our floured surface. All right. So there you guys go. There is our start of our dough. Actually, you know, this is not a. This is when you don't want to overcombine because you don't want too much gluten in it. That's the thing. When people are kneading bread, like if you knead bread a lot, what happens is it creates gluten or elasticity in said bread. That's what makes it chewy, right? If you keep messing with bread, you're going to just keep making that elastic flavor, that gluten into it. It stretches the gluten, and that's why you continue to do it. This is not a chewy bread. So, we actually don't want to overdo it. So, alright, we are going to roll this out. They say to pat it, but you know what? I have a new rolling pin. Mushroom stuffing. I mean, that'd be interesting, but when you have stuffing in a bread, you don't necessarily want it chewy, because the stuffing you should be able to eat, you know? Like, you want to be able to chew through get the stuffing, and if it's chewy, like, you know, and it's not going to give you the same. Yeah, I have a rainbow rolling pin. Honestly, that's the only reason I wanted to use my rainbow rolling pin. So let's put a little more flour down. We're going to flour up the rolling pin. It's an insult to the mushrooms. Yeah, because mushrooms aren't chewy. I know, right? It's pretty. Alright, so we're going for a 12 by 18 inch rectangle. Another note, when you're doing stuff like this, keep turning your dough. Don't press it one way. That's how you stretch something out too much. And that will also cause those gluten-y things, or cause the bread to stretch out and then you've got uneven. So just keep turning it to get your required space that you want. I think we're getting to where I can't turn it anymore. But when you first do it, you want to definitely try to turn as much as possible. Okay. I do not have a ruler. We're going to hope that I can actually do 12 by 18 inches and then I'm correct. So that looks to be, I'd say that's about 12. Which means this is going to be a pretty thin dough, it seems. When you start seeing it pull up like that again, do yourself a favor. Sprinkle a little bit of flour on top because it's sticking. Get a little bit more on my. Alright. Getting close, I think, to my required 18 inches. Talking about sausages, talking about required length. Stop making jokes about that. TOS. Just occasionally have to remind myself. You're not cooking just for yourself right now. Stop making your immature jokes. Okay. Suddenly have the urge to get a new rolling pin. Yeah, this one was on Amazon. Imagine here. Real quick. Sometimes letting the bread rest is not a bad thing. If you guys don't recall. Bam! It matches my silverware. Because my silverware is shiny and rainbow. Sooner or later I'll have everything in my kitchen as rainbow. Pride, baby! Woo. Maybe you would be proud. Yeah, I actually prefer French style. Which means that it doesn't have like the handles. I have one that has the handles. I was given that as a wedding present a long time ago. I prefer these style. Alright, so I'm thinking, see, that's definitely the 12 inches that they said, but I'm not quite where I'd like to be with the, there we go. There, it's much better now. Alright, so I'm trying to make this as rectangular as possible, because we're going to roll this up. Yes, I have all kinds of rainbow everything around my house, and I love it. Pride, baby, pride. Oh, am I stretching? Okay. I probably need to after leaning over that, so. Stretch. Alright. Okay. And I hydrate, huh? How are you doing, Trim? Okay. Alright, so we've got like a 12 by 18 inch. See, I can't talk. Dough here, right? I think that looks pretty good. Alright. Oh, what, you thought the stretch was for the bread? I mean, it's pretty stretch. Alright, let's flip that page again. Like I said, this thing does not stay. Alright, we are going to put our mushrooms over it. Yeah, we're to about room temperature here. So now we're just putting our mushroom and cheese filling onto our cheese bread. I just realized there's cheese in both components of this, which sounds amazing. So going back once again, this is, why did I pop? Anyways, this is our shallots and mushrooms mixed with some herbs and some Parmesan cheese. We're just spreading it over our dough that has Gruyere cheese inside of it. Okay, and we want to get it almost to the edge. You don't want to go quite to the edge, because when you go to roll it, it's going to squish a little bit, which will cause it to get to the edge, but you don't want to lose any if you can help it. But you do want to almost get to the edge. We're also going to cut the edge off of this. Anytime you roll something to make it look prettier, you always end up cutting the edge off anyway. Pizza is the biggest food maintenance. I do love pizza. Well-made pizza. I don't like doughy pizza. Like, I don't like a lot of bread with my pizza. I feel like it's a waste. Also really like olive oil pizza. Or taco pizza. Taco pizza. Okay, so it said it's going to be kind of patchy. I feel like it's kind of patchy. But I feel like it's fairly even. Pressing it down just a little bit so it stays in place. Alright. With the long side facing you. Yep. Roll the dough tightly. And okay. I'm also going to get a cutting board out because I know we're going to cut it afterwards. So let me get a cutting board in place so we're ready for that. Alright, so here comes the fun part, which is rolling the dough and trying to make sure that I don't bust it open. Okay. So start with a small fold here. And the trick to rolling this kind of stuff, you don't want to stretch it. What you're wanting to do is literally roll it, but you got to make sure that you keep it tight when you do that. Which means most of the time putting even pressure across the whole thing, which is why you keep seeing, like, because I obviously don't have hands that are like 9 inches long here, so I have to kind of go through. Talk a little bit here, but we don't want to stretch the dough. Tuck it under so that it stays tighter. And what you can do if you're not used to rolling, a lot of people will put plastic wrap underneath and kind of pull it up with the plastic wrap. And you could do that. Tucking this in a little bit because, like I said, my filling's spilling out because I went a little too close to the edge over there. Any filling that comes out, I'm just going to plop right there. Okay. And there we go. There's our full dough roll. Pretty good, we didn't lose too much. So there we go. With the spread. I hope it's good. It's more the filling. I think it's gonna turn out good. Alright. So now, for these breads, technically you would normally do a serrated knife. I'll wait for it to cook. Where's the fun in that? There's no egg in this. So you could actually, like, we're not saying to, but you could actually eat it raw. I'm sure it will taste better once it's actually done. All I'm doing right here is just kind of pinching the edge to the last layer so that it kind of closes it up. Okay. So technically you're supposed to use a serrated. Alright. That means I gotta use my not so pretty knives. Well, I mean, they're colorful. So that's the end. Alright. So let's see how these end up looking. I gotta get a pan, or get my pan over here. Ready to drop these on. I think it's supposed to be oiled, is it? It doesn't say to oil it, but I feel like it should be oiled. So, we're gonna oil it. Just with some pan. There's some cooking spray. Okay, how many of these are we supposed to cut? Should have 14. Alright. So we're gonna cut in the center. Okay. So we need about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's about right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Alright, let's see what this looks like, guys. I would say that looks pretty good. Show them to you again once I get them all on the cookie sheet. They do. Ah, that one came unsealed. Sometimes at the end, this always seems to happen. It's okay. We can fix her. We have the technology. Dental floss. I don't like using dental floss. And honestly, like, it's really hard to find dental floss that doesn't have a flavor. Like, at least around me, all the dental floss seems to have, like, mint. And, no offense, but I don't really want mint in this. Okay. Pinch that a little bit. Okay. I have these two, which technically they say to throw away. I feel like that's a waste. We're gonna go ahead and cook them. I mean, they're just not as nice, but that is our veg bread here. Got one or two of them that decided to unroll a little bit. I'm just gonna pinch those back together. Butcher's twine could work. It's a little thicker though than dental floss. Okay. Okay, in a small bowl, we're going to beat together an egg and a teaspoon of water because we're going to do an egg wash. If you ever see something that's kind of got like a golden crust to it, a lot of times it's an egg wash. That's what makes it like shiny. When you see bread that has like a shiny top to it, always egg. Nah. Beat this egg here. Let's get most of this stuff out of the way here. There we go. Grab my pastry brush from earlier because all we did with it was olive oil. And that egg beaten. Yes, glassy golden crust is how you get that, is with egg wash. If you use butter, that's when you get the golden, but you don't get like the glossy. It's the eggs that do that. Alright. Looks like my Spotify stopped playing at some point. Oh, there it goes. My Spotify's being really weird on this computer. I'm gonna have to get that fixed for next stream, I think. Occasionally I look up, because I can't actually hear it, which is another thing I need to get fixed. Yeah, I'll notice that the music will have stopped. And I like having a little bit of music so that I don't feel like I have to talk all the time. Oh, was the song transition? It didn't look like it was in the middle of the song. Or it looked like it was in the middle of the song, I should say. Maybe I just keep hitting the song transitions or something because I'm paranoid to keep looking at it. Once you put it in the oven, can you see the pre-prepared? I do not do that. I wish, man. But that's a lot of work. To do 2 versions of those. Like, have you seen how much work has gone into it? You have, because you've been here. Could you imagine though? And here's the other thing. I can't eat that much food, and it's quarantine, which means I don't have people over to come eat this much food. That would be a lot of food to keep in my house. Like, here's 2 sets of this veg bread. Could you imagine that shit? No, what I'm going to do is I have a friend that's going to come over. Okay, I think he was in here at one point. Actually, he might not have been today. But my friend, A Ring with Ogre, is what his name is on here. He is probably going to come over and take some of the excess sausages that we made. I'm just going to send him home with some of those too. Okay. Alright, that's enough egg wash on all of that. Now they don't say to do this, I don't think. Let me check. No, they don't. I'm going to crack a little bit of salt over the top so that we have some little crunchy salt pieces on each one too. I know I'm deviating from the recipe, but not really. It's just salt. Okay. And which one was that? The 425, I believe? Yes. This goes into my bottom oven. Here we go, guys. Okay. Hey, Google. Set timer for 18 minutes.
18 minutes, starting now.
Alright, and then it says it like 9 minutes to flip it, rotate it. I have a convection oven. I don't know that I need to do that, but I will because the recipe tells me to. Okay, now back to our sausage. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Such a dumb movie, if you guys know what I'm quoting. Alright. We're back, party people. Sorry, I've been watching this guy who does reactions, and he calls everybody party people, and I think it's annoying. So I don't know why I did it. Okay. Rearrange the potatoes so they only take up half of the baking sheet. Okay. You mean shove? I can shove, that's fine. Alright, so now with the leeks, what does it say to do? Alright. Toss the leeks with 3 tablespoons of olive oil, seasoned with salt and pepper. Let me get the leeks into my bowl here so we can actually toss them. One, two, three. Good enough. The smell of fresh baking bread is the best smell. I do love the smell of bread. I'll tell you when I start getting that smell because I don't have it yet. Right now it smells like mushrooms and potatoes and sausage, which is still not a bad smell. But it is not what we were talking about. Okay, so I've got my leeks here. I'm just tossing them a little bit with some salt and pepper and some olive oil, which I feel like I could have just done on the pan. Love the pick. Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Spread them on the empty side of the baking sheet. Okay. Okay, I'm just separating out the leeks a little bit here. Tell you what, let me bring you guys over while I do that because it's going to take me a minute. And I know that the picture is pretty. But let's actually see what I'm doing. If I can get my tripod to work with me. It's like, I don't want to be shorter. You'll never take me alive. Alright, there we go. So now we're just separating out the leeks here a little bit. I feel like that didn't quite get cut enough, so don't do this at home, kids. Yeah, their root structure was still there, so it wasn't quite breaking up like I wanted it to. But I want to make sure that the leeks are going to all get cooked. And if I've got them in layers like that, they won't get cooked right. Just separate them out. Let's also make sure that I'm getting the olive oil through all of them. Oh, there's some dirt. You gotta go away. That's the other reason to separate. Like I said, you will find that. Even though I washed these like 4 times. It's stupid. There's one problem with leeks is that they have so much dirt in them. Okay, there we go. Rinse my hands off real quick. I don't need a full-on wash because I'm just covered in oil. And I believe these, let me make sure, I believe these go back in the oven. Is that your phone? Yes, it is a phone. It's my phone on, I'll show you real quick. There's this app called iRune Webcam, and you can use your phone so long as you have a computer that is on the same wireless with it. So that's what I'm using. That way I didn't have to buy a second webcam. And that way I can move it around my kitchen. Okay, arrange those. Alright, and then arrange the sausages over the leeks. Okay. If you guys remember these from earlier, these are homemade banger sausages. We are apparently cooking them over the leeks again. Funnily enough, in the cookbook, this is great. I love when they're like, have stuff already made, because this was cooked sausages were one of the ingredients. Okay. Yeah, no, it's been really useful, Jinxie. If you have like a laptop and stuff, or if you can get your computer on the wireless, using your phone as a webcam, I think is great. Okay, we're gonna roast this for 8 minutes. God, this is so much food. I see why it's called Heroes Feast. Hey Google, set another timer for 8 minutes.
Second timer for 8 minutes, and that's starting now.
Okay. Okay, now in the now empty bowl. Man, you keep using this bowl. This is our bowl again. Come back. Let's see if I can mess around with our angles here a little bit. Looking into options. Yeah, you know, because my phone has a better camera than some of the webcams out there, so why not, you know? Okay. Like, I could have bought a $20 cheapy webcam, or I can just use my phone. The one thing that sucks is I can't use my phone for anything else, you know? Like, I wanted to use it as a stream deck, but I can't. That's okay. Okay, so we're going to season these tomatoes. So I told you guys earlier I went to Whole Foods. For those of you not familiar, Whole Foods is the expensive ass place that you'll see in a lot of American media stuff. Like, a lot of shows talk about Whole Foods and stuff. And this is expensive because it's all organic and all that shit. Double check. No, I didn't. I have 2. Anyway, I wanted to get the ones that are on the vine, because if you look here, they're on the vine. So I actually went and got the tomatoes that are on the vine so that they'd look pretty. Like the ones in the picture. Sprouts next time? Yeah, so there's a Sprouts near me. It's not very big, so it didn't have all the stuff I need. We also have a natural grocer. Well, you're near here. I'm in Olathe, so natural grocer is actually closer than Sprouts. Oh, and this said to get cherry tomatoes. These are grape tomatoes. They're slightly smaller. Meh. Okay. Oh. That was loud. Anyways, then you are really close to me. Just throwing some salt and pepper. Salt is fine. Okay, so 9 minutes left on our 18-minute timer, which means I need to flip the bread. If you guys hear some sound effects, my husband is apparently snacking because my food's taking too long. Those have risen up. Good food's worth the wait. Yeah, it is. So we've got our tomatoes ready for later. So let's go ahead and do a bit of cleanup here. I'm gonna put my Fitbit on so I can get my steps. By the way, my Fitbit has a kitty. Sprouts on 95th. Yeah. If I'm going cheaper, but I want to go like the organic route, because most of the time I just shop at Hy-Vee. This is boring adult shit, but most of the time I shop at Hy-Vee because they're right near me, and they tend to have everything I need. So, but I'll go to Natural Grocers sometimes. But I was like, I'm gonna spoil everybody and go to Whole Foods. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Put away my prep bowls I didn't use, thankfully. I'm gonna have a full dishwasher after this freaking stream. Look at this shit. You guys see the destruction I have done to my dishes? Crazy. And by the way, guys, I went expensive on this because I was like, I'm gonna make it look pretty and all that crap. Like, don't bother. I'm doing it for a stream, you know? Like, if you're doing it for yourself, shit, go for the cheaper stuff. If you got one near you, go to Aldi. Aldi's great. Oh yeah, no, I saw that. I saw the Hy-Vee thing. It's weird talking about local things on Twitch. Because, like, I have people that are somewhat local. Like, kind of close. A couple hours away most of the time. But, like, when I have somebody who's actually, like, local, it's always weird. Because you're, like, small world. I am, however, for anybody who's in the vicinity of having one, I am a Hy-Vee fan. Love that place. Look at my poor olive oil. I cooked too much for you guys. It's okay. Wegmans. Spending more on ingredients. You know, there's something to be said for that, like making your stuff look pretty. Sometimes it just encourages you because you're like, you know what? No. I spent this much time and effort on it. I'm going to fucking eat it. I'm not going to go through that drive-thru. I'm not going to do that. You're like, no. So there is something to be said for doing that. Oh, by the way, funny thing. Here, I'll show you guys real quick. This is the deer meat. I still have to make more sausage. Yeah, if you guys didn't see previously. There's the sausage I have left. So, anyhow. Yeah, I still have to stuff the deer sausage. Yeah, you do. But the thing is, a lot of times, I'll be honest, people mark up stuff for food. Yeah, it's deer meat sausage. But a lot of times people will mark up stuff for food. So, you know, like there's certain things, there's no reason to buy like highly expensive. Look, if you're doing olive oil and you're going to cook with it, like this is Colavita. Colavita is like middle of the road. If you're going to cook with olive oil, it does not need to be as high priced as some of the extra virgin olive oils that are really expensive, right? Because the thing is, they're doing it for clarity and purity. You lose that clarity and purity when you heat it up. So, like, there's no point. I thought I had more olive oil. I may have to go buy more olive oil. Anyways, but there's no point spending all that extra money if you're going to heat it up. Because if you're going to dip it, if you're going to use it for salad dressing, things like that where it's actually raw, yeah, spend more on the olive oil. Don't bother otherwise, though. Like, it's useless. Okay, so that's our 8 minutes. Our leeks are, we got 16 seconds right now. So we toss the tomatoes. Okay. Move the sausages to the side, stir the leeks, spread them out over 2/3 of the empty space, and replace the sausages over the leeks. Okay, so we're just stirring the leeks. Okay. I still have 3 minutes on the other timer. So I'm just, oh, it said move over. All right, well, here you go, potatoes. Let me bring you guys over so you can see what I'm doing here. Really wish I had a slightly wider area over here to work with. There we go. There you go. Hi, guys. So we're just pulling the sausages over to the side so that we can stir the leeks. And then it said something about moving them to 2/3. I need to reread that. I appreciate they're trying to do the one pan thing, but honestly, if this would have been easier with 2 pans, I wish they'd have just done that. But, you notice the leeks have wilted down somewhat here. So let me look through here. Spread them over 2/3 of the empty space. Okay. So yeah, we're going with about that, so we can throw the tomatoes down on this empty space here. I'm putting the sausages back over the leeks. I don't know how I'm supposed to fit them as easily, but we'll rearrange the sausage. All right. Okay. Now we're going to put the tomatoes onto the empty space here. And continue to roast for 10 minutes. Hey Google, set timer for 10 minutes.
Second timer for 10 minutes, and we're starting now.
Okay, so we got about a minute left on, that is the wrong thing. Oh, I'm on the second page of it. So this is the second page. This is our veg bread here. Local butchers. I love places that deliver, but you know, here's a cost to that. We have a place called Chateau. It's pretty amazing. See, they're saying brush with a light coating of truffle oil. I'm not going to use truffle oil. I'm good. Alright, we got 40 seconds. Let me go check this veg bread. See if it looks nice and toasty. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is... Oh, you guys are going to love these. Okay. So, move this out of the way. Put our trivet down so I don't burn the shit out of my counter, and bam! You guys see this? You guys see this? You guys see this? Look how pretty. Alright. Hey Google. Cancel. So this is our veg bread. I'm going to have a little bit of time left, so we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit on here. You guys, this smell, like, I wish I could have you guys smell it. It's so good. Okay, cool them for 5 minutes on the pan. Okay, and then we're going to move them to a wire rack. Alright. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear that. They're sizzling still. No, I didn't flip them. So it said to just turn the pan. So I took the pan from here to here, basically. butt nom 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 nom. I love you, butt spot. Oh, these look so pretty. Let me get my wire racks ready. Well, screw you too, Pan. Alright, anyway. I need to clean up my pan drawer. But this is our veg bread here. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get this done on stream, but hey, look at that. So pretty. Yeah, I don't want to get my tripod too close. It's heat. But these are so pretty. Here's our ends, by the way, that I was like, they were like, throw away, and I'm like, no. Come back here. I was like, no, I'm not throwing it away. Why would I throw away bread I just worked that hard on? Hell no. I get a spatula, because it does stick, it is stuck a little bit to the bottom. Hopefully, not completely. Okay, how long does it cool? 5 minutes. And it says the truffle oil. I'm not gonna. I don't like truffles that much. I think it tastes like dirt. Doesn't it? I would share with you guys. Okay, and then we're just gonna sprinkle the last of the stuff with parsley. So I do have parsley over here. I'm just going to use one of my prep bowls here. We're just gonna snip some parsley to put on top of the final plate. Also, for a little extra something, I am going to go get parsley. Will go back in the fridge, but I gotta throw it in its green bag. I am actually going to use something special for this, so give me just a moment, guys. You guys might be able to hear this. Alright, so do you guys remember how I said I used to do medieval reenactment? I actually have some of my old blacksmith forged silverware. So that's actually going to go with my dish once it's done. So, like I said, I used to do this shit. One of my friends actually made that for me custom. Like I picked the design and everything that's on them. So, alright, I'm just breaking up the parsley a little bit. While we prepare ourselves for the ending, I gotta get a plate out as well. I'm gonna have to use a plate because there's so much food that's on that for the bangers. Like, one plate's gonna serve me and my husband, but that's okay. So much food. Gotta make it pretty. But thank you guys for being here. I hope you're finding it entertaining. We're getting to the end here. Got a couple more minutes left of cooking. I'm just literally being lazy. Cutting parsley with a scissors. But yes. Thanks, Buttspot. Zinku, don't question Buttspot. Okay. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I can handle that. Let's see if this will come up. There's a little bit of sticking. Okay, it's not bad. There we go. Let's look at the bottom. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Yeah, the sticking's not too bad. It's because there's cheese. Cheese always sticks, no matter what you do. That one stuck a little bit more. It's okay. You should be honored if Buttspot likes you. Buttspot is great. I should have put this down on a silicone pad. I have a silicone pad. I just wasn't thinking about it. It's okay. Like I said, they're coming up pretty easily, and they're not burned or anything on the bottom. Like I said, it's just cheese. Cheese likes to do this. So let's go here. There we go. Hey, what's up, Blue? How are you doing? They're so pretty. Sorry, I'm impressed with myself. Look at me like patting myself on the back and shit over here. Alright, so these are our end pieces, our fuck-ups, if you will. I am all for them. We don't discriminate against bread in this place. All bread is beautiful. Yeah, that bread's beautiful. Once again, this is going to take me forever to clean up. But while the stuff is finishing in the oven, you can take a look at that. I think we're going to go with this plate. I have 3 different types of plates, so we're going to go with this plate for this. By the way, we'll try one of my fucked up ones. Yeah, it's not fucked up. This is so good. This is a good recipe, guys. Bottom oven off. Top oven. Here we go. Hey Google, cancel. Eat first, clean up later. That's usually my motive, yes. Alright. So, let us plate. Now, I don't need this much food. We're doing this to look pretty. But I'm gonna make it look pretty. So I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be a huge plate. And I will not be eating all of this. You kidding me? Oh, if you think I'm not gonna still eat that. Wait, where'd it go? Huh. Yeah, that cannot be eaten. That sucks. That's alright. Okay. Aw, thank you, Carrie. I try. So we're going to oh, by the way, this is my custom-made spork. Yes, it's a medieval spork. Let me make sure I get the same set here. Alright. See that? Does not help light. I'm gonna move out of the light. Alright. So guys, what do you think? Did I succeed in making bangers and mash and veg bread from Heroes Feast? I think it looks really good. I think it turned out really good. This bread is something else. Like, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of a better version. If I just put garlic in this, it'd be a better version of Red Lobster's cheddar seafood biscuits, if I'm honest. It's really good. You guys decide, like I said, that you want this book. You can do exclamation point recipes, or you can just kind of look through here if you like some of these recipes. They did a really good job on this. Like I said, the pictures are beautiful. That is the biggest reason to have it. Like, they did some work on making sure these foods looked beautiful, you know? Like, let me find a couple of them. This is one of them I'm actually going to do. These are the Yawning Portal buttermilk biscuits. Oh yeah, the WoW Cookbook. Actually, this is one. Let me see if I can reach it. Top of the shelf. There it is. This is another one I was debating doing some stuff from. So the Overwatch Cookbook. Oh, and by the way, the precursor to this particular D&D book I happen to have as well. It's from the 90s. This is the Dragonlance book, written by Margaret Weiss, I believe. Yep, Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, who are writers for the Dragonlance series. We're coming out with a new set of books, by the way. But yeah, so this was kind of the precursor to creating this. And funnily enough, Joe, I can never pronounce his name, but Joe Manganiello? Anyways, he's a Magic Mike, but he is a huge nerd, and he wrote one of the recipes in there. What did they make an Overwatch cookbook? 2 years ago, I think? Yeah, I've debated making stuff from that. We'll see though. Manganiello? Okay. You got me on that. Mongi? Joe from Magic Mike, and that's also a nerd for D&D. We'll go with that. Okay, so you guys will give me just a moment. No, we don't want to open up Twitch on here. I'm going to be right back. We're going to look for somebody to go ahead and hit with the raid. So give me just a moment. Enjoy looking at the food. I'll be back. Easy one. I know where we're going. Okay. So, hopefully you guys, like I said, enjoyed it. We're going to go ahead and raid Laffenstein, who is an amazing guy if you haven't had a chance to get to know him. And he is streaming right now, so I feel like we should go throw him some love and support. Could also do Lefty, but Lefty's got plenty of people. So we're going to throw everybody over at Laffenstein. thank you guys, like I said, once again for being here. I don't know what else to say other than I will go ahead and throw up another vote if you guys have something that you want to see me make, if you have something that you're interested in. Make sure to throw in that vote. It'll be on Twitter. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope that you're all doing well once again, and I love you guys, and thank you for coming in. Alright, bye guys. I guess I get to go clean and try to eat this much food. I made way too much food, guys. Help.